Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be planting up two Pinky Winky Botanical Hydrangeas and removing some ornamental grasses. These plants I just got butterfly bush, daylily, penstemon, and peony. That one is a butterfly bush. Peony or peony, however you want to say it. And this penstemon, it starts out white, but once it ages, the blooms turn pink. But I'm not planting those up today. So these are the grasses that I don't like. I don't think that they were planted very well before. And they have like a lemony smell. And then I have mulch that I'm even putting down too. And I don't know the variety of this grass. And those are my limelight hydrangeas, showing you those again. And I will be moving those ornamental grasses. I planted this up after I removed some other shrubs, and this one is a panicle hydrangea that I bought at just my local grocery store, and it was in a bag. So alright, now these are the ornamental grasses I'm removing. There's two on each side of my porch. I have to move the rocks, have to find the drip tubing because I cut it when I was moving out some bushes on my other side, so now I know that I need to be more careful this time. The hardest part about this whole getting the bushes out was moving the rocks, because the bushes were really easy to move out. The panicle hydrangeas that I'm putting in today, I've never had the Pinky Winky variety, but all panicle hydrangeas are my absolute favorite. If you think you have a black thumb, I would start with those. The big leaf, the mop head ones, those ones are more finicky because they have to have enough sunlight and then not too much sunlight or they will flop. And then you can't prune them all the time. You probably shouldn't do it at all, ever. Just leave it alone. But the panicles, you can prune back in the spring to manage their height and to clean them up and their shape. And then I'm just cutting off the top part so I can get to it easier. I was trying to not have to move the rocks, but it was pretty stuck in there from the rocks being on top. And now, since I've removed those, I'm going to be moving the rocks and then cutting that fabric, that garden fabric that's underneath those rocks. And I'm going to be putting a hole right in the middle of the other two holes to put the hydrangea in the middle. Because the panicle, the Pinky Winky that I got, it says that they need 6 to 8 feet of space between each other. It says they can get 6 to 8 feet tall and wide. Their zone is 3 to 8, and they can take sun to part shade. So that's why I just got one for each side of the porch. I wasn't going to have too many on one side and then have to move them later. So as I was digging in the front garden bed, I can tell that it's clay soil from whenever they amended it, whenever they built the house. Most of the time when it's a new construction, they put the clay down at the bottom and then they put topsoil on top. So now I'm just scooping out the clay. And in my garden in the backyard, that one's just regular dirt. And then whenever you're planting up your hydrangea, you want it to be wider than the pot that you got, that it's in currently. And it needs to be level. Okay, now I'm going to the other side and removing the 2 ornamental grasses like I did on the other side of the porch. And I like to have all my plants in before it gets too hot, because after that then your plants can struggle and have a really hard time. So it's really good to get stuff planted in the spring, late spring. I wouldn't do any more planting after that. I know people do, but with hydrangeas, I'd rather them be in the ground before it gets super hot. And then like things like annuals, you can put those whenever, because they're made to only last for 1 season. But I like to give my shrubs and my perennial plants a better chance. So after I dug the hole, I did go get my peat moss so I can add some to the hole, because I was gonna put some of the clay soil back in and the peat moss to mix it, because down at the bottom of the plant, that's gonna be mostly clay, and I want it to be able to be used to the environment that it's gonna be in. And then after that, I will put the plant tone down at the bottom, and it's just a sprinkle, just a hand sprinkle. And these ones aren't too root bound, so I'm not worried about scratching the side of the roots of the pot or anything. I just put it in. And then I patted it in, pat it down to make sure there's no air pockets, so that whenever the water goes in, it's just not going to make a pool under there. And then I'm showing you the clay soil that I have. It's pretty hard. And then I watered it in. And got the other one. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like this channel.